Hey friends, it's Cariella VSG again. Thank you for stopping by so soon. Giving a quick, one of my quick non-update updates today. If you've watched any of my previous videos, especially the last one, I had heard from my surgeon's office and I needed to have another evaluation with the surgeon according to my insurance company. That was supposed to occur yesterday on Tuesday, and on left school, my work early to drive the hour and a half because I was working out of town, only to find out that this doctor had needed to go into emergency surgery for a patient and had to cancel my appointment. Then I felt like a jerk because here there was some patient needed emergency surgery and I was all put out that my stuff got delayed again. But I called back and said, okay, please, is there any way you can get me in this week? Because they had mentioned that they needed to do it next week. And I let the person at the front desk know that I wasn't having just a normal appointment. Like, it wasn't my first consult. It was based on a follow-up. And she was so kind and worked me in today. Which brings me to the point of this whole message today. I've shared before, I've really been struggling with the concept of this is all going to happen in God's time, not mine. And I prayed about that from the very beginning. That's a lie. Didn't pray about his time. I've just been praying for guidance that if this was okay for me, that the doors would be opened. And the doors were opening, but they weren't opening at the right times. Of course, that's because that's my time. And I've really been convicted of this just through the love of a friend who said, this is going to happen when it's supposed to happen. I know you're frustrated. I know you want it, but this is going to happen when it's supposed to happen. And I've just kind of rolled my eyes on the other side of the phone at that, just because, again, I want it in my time, like a naughty kid, I guess. That's just, how we are, right? Sometimes. So anyway, God's time, not my time. God's time, not my time. So when that happened yesterday, I was like, okay, fine, I get it. But was still frustrated. Fast forward, had my appointment today. Gonna send everything in to the insurance company again. Walking down the hall of the hospital, and all of a sudden, someone calls me by my name. And I turn around. It is the cousin of my childhood best friend. He happens to live here in town, about 45 minutes from me. Haven't seen him in like 2 years. He's a physician's assistant. Did not know he had changed hospitals and was working at my chosen hospital. And you have to understand that I know him. My childhood best friend lives 6 hours from here. That's where we grew up. So it's just funny. In the 10 years that he and I have both lived in Birmingham, I have never once run into him. Okay. So he's like, what are you doing here? And I don't know what possessed me to tell him. I mean, I've known Paxton since I was 8 years old, but I just flat out told him, said, well, actually, I'm trying to get approved for weight loss surgery. I was here to see Dr. DeWitt. And without blinking an eye, he was like, that's great. Dr. DeWitt is an excellent surgeon. He is so good. And here's the thing, y'all. If you've watched my other videos, you may recall that a little while ago, I was trying to decide if I had picked the right hospital based on some things that other people were saying to me and their concerns and that type of thing. And all of a sudden, he starts talking to me, he being my friend's cousin, starts talking to me about what a great surgeon Dr. DeWitt is. He's like, Carrie, I would let him operate on any member of my family. And I've known him since I was 8 years old. I know his mama very well. I call her Aunt Dinah. I can't even describe it to you. I really felt like that God put him there to talk to me today. Put my mind at ease. I literally, during my evaluation with the doctor today, almost asked him if he will do the surgery at another hospital if I wanted him to. I know that he has credentials or whatever it's called when they can go other places. And I was so close, but then I didn't ask him. And then I ran into Paxton like moments after meeting with the surgeon. And that was just a really good moment. And I said, Paxton, you have no idea. I said, I really think that God put you here today. And he said, you know what, Carrie, it's funny. He said, I'm not usually here on Wednesdays. I don't ever walk this hall on Wednesdays. It just so happened that I had a file that I needed to do today. It is like I was just supposed to be here today. And if I'd had the appointment yesterday that I was originally supposed to have, guess who I would not have run into? So that was pretty neat. I just thought I'd share that. I will always share my faith in this part of the journey because it is such a big piece. My next small piece of information, I've shared this book title with several of you, and I just thought I'd share it again. I apologize that I am not talented enough to be able to work the camera where I'm not staring at my iPad. So this is going to be backwards. So I apologize in advance. But this is a great book, Made to Crave. Oh, actually, I'm showing you the devotional. Here's the real book. Made to Crave. This book is by Lysa TerKeurst. Again, Lysa TerKeurst. Sorry that it's backwards. I read it a few years ago. It's about the tagline is satisfying your deepest desire with God and not food. I read this a few years ago and it had a major impact on me. But yet I wasn't quite ready to make those changes. And that's obviously where I'm at this point in time. I think I'm going to do another book study with a group about it. So thought I'd share it with those of you who might benefit or might enjoy the read. There's a workbook for people that are in small groups or study groups about it, the book itself, and then a devotional. I don't recommend the devotional just because it's really meant to go along with after you've read the book, and it's just that you can use it as a little reminders along the way. And even if you don't do a book study, the workbook is amazing because it helps you process things and write things out. And the funny thing is, when I did the group before, I bought the workbook, but I never worked through the workbook, if that makes sense. So there is a small group tonight. My church does small groups like Bible studies. It starts tonight, and I've been trying to decide if I was going to go. I think I'm going to go. We'll see. It's like in an hour and a half. That means I'm skipping the gym. I didn't go last night. Lots of reasons for that, but that means I've only been one night this week. But anyway, I'll work around it. So just wanted to share that. Hope you don't mind me sharing that book, and even if you do, that's okay. That's okay, because that's just, you'll find more of that with getting to know me, because this is a big journey. Thank you again. I appreciate everything that you guys have reached out to me to share, and look forward to sharing more with you. Have a great night.